Willie D Live.
Where do you think that started? Do you think that started with, did it start with social media or did it start with reality TV?
No, it started with us. There were no guardrails after 96. I'm going to give you my 1996 theory. So Puff had already been getting money, Dre and Snoop, Rockefeller came on the scene. But post that, LaFace Records had just sold prior to that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but around that mid-90s. You had Motown sold. We was about the money. We started making them pay for what they was doing to the Cold Crush. All the artists before, right? This boom of success, this boom of joint ventures, this boom of ownership, right? The idea of ownership was not a thing. You can go back to Cadillac Records, all the things. People didn't own nothing. They were leased. Artists, they were leased by their company to go do what you had to pay. And my thing is, this is the time where we took over and we're getting 50-50s. Master P and them, y'all came in the game doing 80-20 split, whatever it was. And then after 96, it became about the money.
Mm-hmm.
People wanted money only. So we selling everything. We're not building it to last and be a legacy or heritage brand. We building it to sell it. And we didn't stop it. We didn't stop it. For a few roles, Jay, Puff, Dr. Dre, few roles to the prominence of billionaire status. Kanye West entered the chat. It's about money. It ain't about culture. It ain't about your heritage. It ain't about where you from. It ain't about loving your significant other or even thinking about having. That's about these bitches and how we gonna get this pussy. Ain't about no real tangible things that's gonna build a relationship. It's about this physical, front-facing thing. And it's our fault. Now, we can clean it up. And I think it's our job to clean it up. I hope anybody just heard that is inspired to want to clean it up. But it's our fault. Now, to your point though, after that though, yes, glorifying all the fighting, women fighting. How much you want to see women fighting, man? All these shows about women actually scrapping, punching each other in the face. Like, and Zeus Network, blow that up. Like, I'm not literally, because, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, that shouldn't exist.
How do you clean it up when the filth is being rewarded? The filth gets rewarded by the algorithm rewards the filth.
Yeah. It
rewards uncivilized behavior. It rewards negativity.
Mm-hmm.
How do you clean it up because right now we're still on a rapid trajectory of get the money, get the bag. Everything is get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. Even more so now than ever. Like I don't see it slowing down. I mean, every time I turn on the internet, man, it's like, damn.
It's sad
like,
sometimes.
What I don't want to do, bro, is 20 years from now, look back at this era we're in right now and say that I contributed to it, to the negative side of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of that. You know, so no, I ain't signing no drill rappers. You know, I'm not representing, you know, how dope you say it. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with that.
But you know better, so you do better.
Yeah, you know better, you do better. Now here's the thing, like you know, because you alluded to like Ghetto Boys in your upbringing earlier. So with us, you know, we always try to we did. I think we were very successful at painting the picture. Like we would tell you about the chop in the trunk, but we'd also tell you about how much time you're gonna get if they catch you with that chop in the trunk. So we were like, yeah, you know, I say I make big money, I drive big cars.
Everybody know me.
It's like I'm a movie star.
You feel me?
But and look, and see what you just did?
Yeah.
That's the part that the guys caught. They like, yeah, nigga, go sell something. But they forgot the part where I said, but late at night, something ain't right. That's the part they don't, you know, it's like, so when people have this acute case of cognitive dissonance where they catch the part that they want, that's whatever part that they hear, that they want to hear, that's the part they hear. Yeah. And the other part, no matter how informative it is, they leave it out.
Yeah, I think that era was different though. And I'm not excusing the things, right? Because just to your point, you try to add messaging to everything you do, but you couldn't help it. because you didn't want that to be your whole life.
Right.
And again, it was reporting. It had never been done. But to your point, and to answer your question, we are at a point now where everything is that. And if it's not drugs, it's dysfunction. If it's not dysfunction, it's misogyny and sex. Over-sexualized. I used to ask my kids who are 21 and 24, now y'all good? Because every day you wake up, you can see literal titties and ass on your thing. It has to be intimidating for a young man who doesn't know about sex, right? So then you get into this thing of like, okay, I see these artists saying this, I see them doing this. It's a never-ending rabbit hole that will continue to go down until we don't exist. Everything black has been taken by pop culture. And you know what I'm talking about. White folk have adapted our culture and made it their own. And big shout out to Teddy Swims. You know what I'm saying? Voice of an angel. You know what I'm saying? But his whole thing before this was us. You know what I'm saying? When you think about, what's the girl name? Billie Eilish. Her whole swag is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But we can't sell them type records to save our lives. You wanna know why? Because we don't make them type records. You ain't trying to tell me the 803 Fresh dude can't sing? That's a howling, raspy, you know what I'm saying? If he was to make some Teddy Pendergrass or some versions of whatever that is, I'm just saying now, he ain't in the lane of dope dealing and all the things I'm saying, but like we don't even think to make beautiful things that will sustain us as a culture.
Right.
We ain't got no reports on war. We got some of the biggest genocide in the history of the world going on. Nobody's singing about this. We ain't got know what's going on in this era. We ain't got nothing that really defines our state of mind and how we live in. That's the difference between your era and this era. Or any era prior.
Yeah, because in the past, music has always spoke to the times.
The times.
Whatever's going on in that time, the music was reflective of the times. And I'm not talking about, just relationships, socially getting it, hustling. I'm talking about what was going on in the world.
Facts.
People, that was always somebody, if there was a war going on, you was going to hear it in a song.
Yeah.
If that was a situation where there was some type of unrest, that was a protest, you would hear about it in song. And now it's like, I'm sure somebody's out there doing it, but they haven't risen enough to make enough noise to where we know who they are.
And that's a problem because they are.
Yeah.
And every time I find one, I'm in their comments, I'm telling them like, do not stop, press the gas, like keep going because it's so frustrating, even as a creative for us. It's like we are playing in a new world. It's just some things we ain't gonna do. We ain't finna be up all night arguing with people in the comments. We're not about to be talking about this. That's why I tell people all the time. I did a podcast the other day with Earn Your Leisure, and the girl from Horrible Decisions was on there. Mm-hmm. And big shout out to her. We hung out down at Essence. She literally was thinking about it. I said, don't worry about them fucking comments. That's not the thing. You got a message. What you're saying is absolutely right. You're on here with three guys. Your voice is important. And the point I'm trying to make is like, we can't get out of this game what we really need to get out of it if we don't reset the table. Because the idea that you could be ignorant and win, everybody ain't winning.
Yeah.
Bro, like this farce of these cars and these motherfuckers living in apartments and spending their last they had paying $5,000 a month for a thing because they got it from a broker or whatever they doing, this fake jewelry. This is not reality. You know what I mean? It's not sustainable. And when I say that, I mean you are not going to be okay from this. The outcome for you is not going to, because what does a gambler do? He keep gambling, right? If he's not locked up or something's taken from him, he continues to gamble. And what does the drug addict do? They keep using drugs till they die. You know what I'm saying? There's very few motherfuckers that we done seen some in the hood that can smoke for 50-some years and make it, but there's not a lot of these people. And people got to realize you can't just wake up and be a rapper today. You can't just wake up and be a ball player today. You can't just, there's so many different things you could become, but the things we want to be is just depressing, bro. It's like no imagination, no vision, and no work ethic. They don't work for nothing no more. They think they're going to get it just because they woke up this morning.
At what point did you decide that you was going to get it? Like, what was it like when you were like, I want to start when you were really small, because usually that's when you're most impressionable, when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up in there. What was Kenny like back then?
I was just a happy
Growing up
kid.
in DC.
Yeah, growing up in DC, man, I was just a happy kid, man. I was just
Yeah.
happy to exist. You know, I always had a spirit of wanting to be around people, obviously entertain them in some way. I never was as talented as you guys with rapping, but I could make motherfuckers move. I was a leader of men. You know what I'm saying? I hoop. You know, I did all the things that were culturally connective. And I just doubled down on that. And I think that when I finally realized that I had a gift with people is when I got to the 10th grade,
I was
9th,
about to
10th
say
grade.
it had to be, because that's
Yeah.
normally when you start seeing the culture shifters
Yes.
start making their move, like around 11th grade, 12th grade.
Yeah.
You was at Woodrow Wilson
Yeah.
High, right?
Yeah, I went to Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But before that, though, and the reason I don't give credit to 9th and 10th grade, because I used to fight a lot. You know, back in my day, it was light skin, dark skin shit all day.
right.
And they always would try to punk somebody so it'd be a fight. Like, so I went to 4 high schools in 2 years, 9th and 10th grade. So I wasn't
You went
really
to
a leader.
4 high schools
I
in
went
2
to
years.
4 high schools in 2 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
So,
not-
but it was a thing of like, I was in Detroit for those 2 years, and, you know, it's just random acts of ignorance, you know what I'm saying? And when I moved back to DC in 11th grade, it was about getting some money. Eric B. and Rakim came out with Paying Full.
Yeah.
And initially, I thought, you know, I want to be this drug dealer. I want to do these things. 'Cause I experienced some of that leaving Detroit. And by the time I got to DC, I had, you know, a connect immediately. I was moving and shaking. But then I found out that Rakim ain't cursing his raps. And I'm like, this man cold. Oh, and he wants to have the knowledge of self. So I'm dabbling what that is. Howard University is my backdrop. So I'm going to these parties at Chicago's and the Ritz and all this, and I'm meeting all these people. And I actually met Puff. And I was like, okay, so I'm 16, 17 years old. They, you know, he got records by this time, Jodeci, you know, all these things. I'm like, okay, I gotta get in this game. Cause I don't want to be in this game. I want to be in this game. And I got locked up my senior year of high school. And then when I got out, basketball, basically got locked up in October before the season. And so because I played basketball, they let me go to school and do weekends at 7 Locks in Maryland. So I had to do that for 6 months. So by the time I got done with the program, school was over, basketball was no longer an option. My cousin was going to Morehouse. And that fall, I tried to go to community college, play ball, just wasn't working out. He called me around
Was
Christmas.
that at Brown?
No, I didn't go to Brown yet.
Okay.
I went to Montgomery Junior College in DC.
Okay.
And I tried to hoop. And so I started getting back into my old ways. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like it find you know what I'm saying? And so by spring, around April, he was like, dog, you gotta come to Freaknik. I was like, what is this magical place you speak of? He said, dog, it's Black Family Reunion type shit, bro. You gotta come to the AU. I was like, what's the AU? He said, man, we got Spelman. He tell me all the things. All I knew was he was going to Morehouse. So I came down at Freaknik to change my life. Literally came home, did whatever I had to do to move back, came down that fall, and the rest is history. But I knew what I wanted to do, and that was to the point of like 11th, 12th grade. I couldn't quite put it into motion by the time I reached Atlanta. I became the party king.